Second grade, welcome to Phonics. Today, lesson 96. We're going to go through some picture cards first today. Lotion, shun, say it with me. Circle, cedilla C when followed by an E, I, or a Y. Hey, A in the final position. Rain, A in the medial position or in the initial position. A lot of your spelling words have this AI vowel digraph this week. Toy, oi in the final position. Oil, oi, also a spelling word this week. Diphthong OI in the initial or medial position. Trigraph IGH. Light I. Did I do the other one right? Oil, oi, light I. Patch, ch. Also a pattern you're going to see in your spelling words. When you hear the ch, we often think of ch, ch, cheese. When it's ch following a short vowel, it's TCH, like patch. Cow, ow. Bow, o. Mouse, ow. And giraffe, j. Giraffe, j, when followed by an E, I, or a Y. Also DGE, 3 letters that make the j sound when following a short vowel. Okay. I wanted to go over, which I thought I laid right here, yes, suffixes instead of letter cards today because it's something that we haven't talked too much about. The first one is suffix LET, okay? LET, which means something that is smaller, like a wristlet is something that goes on your wrist a little bit smaller, or a pamphlet is a small piece of paper. That helps give you directions or gives you information. A starlet is a young movie star, a small movie star. So that word let, you can see on the back here, it says small, or even something that is worn, like the wristlet. Okay. This next one is suffix ly. Remember, suffixes are at the end of a word and are boxed, and you have to have a root word or a base word in front of it. Okay. ly is used a lot. It's also on your reading tests a lot. It's in a way. So if I say I'm running quickly to the store, I'm running in a fast way or a quick way. Okay? So like something or how something is occurring. Suffix er. Now er can be a combination, but if it's in the final position, which is where the combination is as well, you're going to box it and see if you have a base word. If you have a base word, then it's the suffix er. And this is more or one who. So if something is longer than something else, or one who does something, like a teacher is someone who teaches. This is suffix est. It's a superlative, which means it's when something is the most. Okay, so if it's the smallest out of a group. This compares two things, whereas this would compare a group of things. Okay, this one is ness. We have this on our phonics test. We had it last week. Ness, like goodness. The state or condition of being good is like goodness, or redness and sadness. The condition of being sad. Suffix full is also one that you often see. Suffix full means full of when added to a base word. Full of, or the quantity that will fill. Like peaceful is full of peace. Cupful is the quantity or the amount that's getting put in the cup. Okay, so there's just a quick review of suffixes. Let's go on to our sounds. Got all kinds of papers all around me today. All right, kiddos. So I need you to repeat after me. Look at my mouth. See how I'm making the sounds. And make those same sounds by repeating and making your mouth do the same as mine. All right. So number 1 is j. Repeat. Go ahead and write all the ways you can think of. Take a look at mine. Straighten me out here. J, comma, G. Remember, when followed by an E, I, or a Y. DGE trigraph when following a short vowel, and GE all the other times. All right, repeat after me. A. Go ahead and write it. The book does not include AI, but I would. Go ahead and check with mine. Try to write a little bigger. I'm kind of running into each other. All right, number 3, repeat. Ch. P. Write it. I already talked about this. TCH like patch. Right, number 4, shun. Repeat. Good, like lotion. Final stable syllable T-I-O-N. There's a big one coming. Okay, repeat after me. K. Repeat. Good. Write it. K, comma, C. Final spelling of the K sound. CK after a short vowel. KE after a long vowel. And just K after combinations and vowel digraphs. Okay. Number 6, E. Repeat. Good. Go ahead and write it. Check with mine. All right. Number 7, in the final position. Repeat like flour, butter. Combination ER. Very good. Number 8 is Z. Repeat. There are 2 ways for this one. Voiced S. And repeat after me. O. Repeat. Good. Just an L or in the final position. It could be the floss rule. Short vowel, short one-syllable word, ends in an F, L, or an S. It's doubled. All right, let's move on to some review words that follow our phonics rules. Number 10 is mass. Mass. Repeat. Go ahead and write. Mass is a floss rule. Number 11 is globe. Globe. Now that I need to look at. That's glob. What is silent that I didn't use a finger for that would make that O vowel long? A sneaky E. Very good. Globe, like the world, the globe. And number 12 is elbow. Repeat. Good. O, B. O like bow. O-W. All right, those are our review words. Now, if I go too fast, pause me. We're going to do our sight words. To buy something in the past, you bought it. You bought it. It's not buyed. I did it, buyed that at the store last night. I bought it. Okay? So bought is spelled B-O-U-G-H-T. That O-U-G-H-T you see a lot. Okay, this word is very similar. If you bought something, you buy it in the past. If you brought something, brought is to bring something in the past. So I brought spaghetti to my mom's house last night because she didn't want to cook dinner. Brought. So there's an R in there. That's the only difference between bought and brought. Okay? And here's another one that has that ought. This is fought, to fight in the past. My brother and sister and I fought a lot when I was little. So ought follows that same pattern. So if you look at these words and think about what these words have in common, they are sight words. They don't follow rules, but they do seem very similar to each other because they all have O-U-G-H-T. Just like could, would, and should have very similar. If you can memorize one of them, it'll help you with the rest. Let's go ahead and go to our dictation sentence. A boat in the lake was stuck in the mud. I'm going to repeat that. A boat in the lake was stuck in the mud. Okay, go ahead and pause me and then come back and take a look. Welcome back, kiddos. I'm going to go ahead and write this out for you. Oh no, I turned dark. There we go. A boat in the lake, A consonant, E. I know the K in the final position is K-E because that's a long vowel. was stuck. There's another k in the final position, which I know is CK because it's following that short vowel, in the mud. And that's a statement telling something, so I just need a period. Check your sentence with mine. A boat in a lake was stuck in the mud. 2 k in the final position. And here was your options for that in the final position. Alrighty? All right, we're going to move on today to the lesson. Make sure, I want you to repeat after me. Echo these words and listen for a vowel sound that they all have in common. Okay? Wasp, watch, wand. Wasp, watch, wand. What vowel sound do you hear in these words? Very good. I hear ah sound, like a short O sound. Let's look at these words and see what is making that vowel sound. Let's take a peek. Here is wasp, watch, and wand. Look at these words and see what is making that vowel sound. Say it if you know it. An A. Very good. Now echo these words and listen for a vowel sound that you hear in these next words. Squash, squat, qualm, like an argument, qualm. Very good. What vowel sound do you hear in those words? I hear an ah sound as well. Let's take a look at these words. Squash, squat, and qualm. Not a word you hear very often. What is representing the ah sound in these words? Also an A. Very good. Even though it sounds like an O, it's also represented by an A. That's right. When the letter A comes after the letter W or the letters QU, it often makes a similar sound to the short ah sound. So let's take a look back at wasp. Okay, wasp was W-A-S-P. Again, when the A is following a W, it often makes the ah sound. When the letter A makes a sound, do you remember how we code it? Like wallet. That's right. If you said it out loud, 2 dots, I could hear you. 2 dots above that A when it makes the ah sound. So we've already learned wallet, when the A makes the ah sound, it's when an L is after it. Now, when the A is after a W, it makes the ah sound. So that's something to keep in mind when you're sounding out words in a story and you come across this word and it sounds like wasp when you try the apple A sound. Peek and see, hey, there's a W there. Mrs. B said that can sometimes sound like an O, so wasp, a wasp. Nobody likes to get stung by a wasp. Okay, let me get these pop-ups out of your way. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these words and code them together. Here's the word watch. It could be like you're looking at something, but it could also be like a wrist watch that tells time. Watch, the A is followed by the W, so you put the 2 dots. TCH, it's a short O sound, so it's TCH trigraph. We cross out that T because you don't hear it, you just hear the ch, okay? And let's take a look at that other pattern. Here's squat. When you squat down to reach something, squat has an A after a QU, which is also an example of when that A can sound like ah. So combination QU, and then those 2 dots, okay? So we don't have a new letter card for this. We go ahead and let the wallet ah represent this sound. But we got to think when we say it. Wallet has an L after the A, so it sounds like ah. It also has a W in front of it, so it sounds like ah. And it's not represented, but the QU combination in front of the A also sounds like ah. Very good. Ah. All right, let's go back to your workbook page and get some of these words down that follow our new phonics rule or pattern. So here's your first one, wasp, and we just talked about that, like the bug, wasp, that stings. So w, ah, Now, usually I would put an O, but I remember W-A. The A sounds like ah. S, sorry, guys. My computer's getting old and it doesn't like to cooperate all the time. So wasp is spelled W-A-S-P. Now watch, w, is the same thing. Ah, it's an A because it's following that W. Ch, short vowel, T-C-H. And lastly is squat. S, qua. Two letters represent the qua sound. Q-U. Ah, not an O. It's following that Q-U. It's an A. Squat. If you know those rules, they're very fair words. They follow the rules. Please go ahead and do this high-frequency word box with your teacher at home. I'm going to close up on this a little bit because coding from far away is a little tricky. All right, let's go ahead and code. Why do we code? Well, we absolutely code to help with reading words that we do not know. So here is a longer word. If you come across this word and you're unsure, let's take a peek at it. Oops. Just kidding. I noticed I had the wrong paper. There we go. That was a sneak peek at tomorrow's paper. So we're focusing in on the A sound after the W and the QU. So here I see a vowel A, and it's following a W. So I'm going to put those two dots above it, like a magic wand. Okay? Now this next word, I'm going to go towards the end of the word. That's what I should have done first with number 1. And I see a final stable syllable. I'm going to bracket that in accent. Cross out that E. Combination QU is right in front of that vowel A. So I know I need to get boop, boop, 2 dots on there. Okay. And now I know how to sound it out. Squabble, squabble, squabble. If you're arguing, sometimes people call it a squabble. Not a word we use very much. Number 3, W-A-L-L-E-T. No suffix, no final stable syllable, but I do see 2 vowels. So I'm going to code, let me change colors. Vowel to vowel. Then I code in between the vowels, 2 L's or consonant, consonant. And where do we put the division line with a VCCV pattern? Between the consonants, between the 2 L's. I'm going to accent that first syllable because that's usually where the accent is. Okay. I also see that the A is not only following a W, there's an L after it. It's going to be an ah sound. Schwa-E sounds like a U. Okay. Wallet, wallet. Now we have a suffix let, which I reviewed with you, but there's no word as a base word, so that's why this is not suffix let. Okay, wallet. Next is the R-O-D-E-N-T. R-O-D-E-N-T. I don't see anything in the final position. Let's take a look at the vowels. How many vowel sounds? 2. Let's code vowel to vowel again. Vowel, vowel, D is a consonant. When we see a VCV pattern, we always usually first put the division line after that vowel. And if it doesn't make sense, then we can adjust. So that would make the O long because there's no consonant after it on that side of the syllable. Also, I need to accent mark. This is another schwa, upside down E. Rodent. Rodent. A rodent is like a mouse or a rat, and that sounds right, so I think we divided that perfectly. Rodent. All right, for number 5, this should be a nice review. I see A consonant E pattern, so I'm going to cross out the silent E and make round that A, and that's the word. Say it if you know it. Tape. Good. All right, in our last coding, I see vowel to vowel and a consonant in between. Okay? I usually code after the first vowel. But with this one, I'm going to try after the consonant. That will make my I short because it's followed by a consonant. This I is short and this is a digraph. Now if you try the other way first, then you can erase and fix it. But finish really wouldn't have made sense if I put the division line after the vowel. Finish does make sense. When you're finished with something, it's completed. Okay, these questions 7, 8, and 9 are just questions that don't really go with the passage, so we're not going to worry about those today. So just make sure you remember the A can sound like ah when there's an L after it. We learned last week. There is a W in front of it or a QU in front of it. Okay, and we code with the 2 dots. Thanks, kiddos.